Hello, how the devil are you? So I'm working at home today. I enjoy this day. I do my exercise. When it's free, and I don't go to the gym, but when it's free, why would more people not exercise? Why can't they look after themselves, their physicality? Why can't they get into shape? Why can't, I'm teetotal, I'm alcohol free. Oh, that's the same thing. Sorry, I'm vegan. That's the one. And I'm not saying that you need to be in any way, shape, or form. But do you struggle to look after yourself? I always found it relatively easy to get back into shape, and it was interesting the times when I'm out of shape. I remember when I'm in relationships that aren't working, and I'm struggling in life. It's like, and I'm sure you can relate to that. The time that I was drinking the most and falling into depression, the times that I had duvet days when I just felt like the plug had been pulled. Have you ever felt like that, where literally, somebody's pulled the plug on you, and I was working on my own, trying to build my business, and I'd have duvet days where I'd just sleep. I thought there was something wrong with my adrenal gland, and I had it checked out. And a homeopathic friend that was building his business, he was like, "Your adrenal gland is suffering from fatigue." So you go down these rabbit holes. You think something's wrong, and physically, there's something to explore, and it's like, right, fix that. But why is that wrong? Why is the adrenal gland over stressed? Because the mind and the body are connected and they're not separate, and it's like, I'm creating the stress because of I've discovered inner beliefs, and it's a whole merry-go-round, and you don't realize, you think you're pointing out there to the problem, where the problem is in here. And building the program that I'm building, it's really interesting to reflect on my whole journey. So I've got that real big perspective, which is important. That's what you need to do when you explore this stuff, and that's the journey I take people through. But it's like at those key points when my relationship broke down, it's like, what is it within me that had this life that was mapped out for me, and love, and having a child, and everything's mapped out, yet I've sabotaged it. What have I done? How has this possibly happened? I'll put the little list here that I'm working from. So in work, when I was doing quite well, my career in the corporate world took off. Not took off, when it was starting to get recognized and everything. I was in a really difficult environment where there was an arsehole working there. And I found the confrontation of that deeply difficult, like deeply, deeply difficult. It troubled me so much. My whole world I didn't feel manly because this guy at work was an arse, just an arse, a narcissist. I understand that as now, but I could not deal with it, and I found it tremendously difficult. It affected everything about my life, and it was so difficult. Of course, I came out the other end, and it was fine, and he was known as an arse. But when people in corporations, find an arse, it's really difficult to deal with, because they always look good and do enough, and when you try and pin them down, so they just kind of move. So you got arse movements. So that was difficult, but I got out of that. But I didn't confront the issue that was in here that made it so difficult. I didn't understand it. Not understanding yourself is so difficult. So when you think there's something wrong with you, believe there's something wrong with you, and you've got evidence of that in your past, oh yeah, I know I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm not, clever enough. I believed I was stupid, ugly, and not manly enough. Which is crazy to look back on it now. And if in my sons, if I see that, or my daughters, ever, it's like, oh God, if you only knew, I'm stretched myself out then as well. It's like, it wasn't that I wasn't manly. It was the belief in here. It wasn't that I was ugly. It was just the belief in here. And it wasn't that I was useless or stupid. It was just the belief in here, given on evidence and the things. Going back to that Gabor Mate expression, quote, trauma isn't what happened to us, it's what we made it mean. It's so true. So we've got traumas that we don't realize we have traumas. And just looking at the clock, because I'm going to have to get my hair cut soon. Always love having my hair cut. It's not what happened to us, what we made it mean. And that's what being human is. That's why I think AI is going to be interesting. Are they going to have issues? You're going to need robot therapy. Anyway, that's a slight aside. But trauma happens, and trauma it's what we make it mean. That's the trauma, not what happened, what we make it mean. and I made it mean loads of different negative things about me. But I didn't realize I was doing that. I didn't realize I did. I had no consciousness around that. It was just like normality. And that's the same for all of us, is it not? So that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm piecing together to get the engagement for you so that you go, okay, just admit there's something in this. I've got this similar experience. Alcohol. That was a big one. So before going on to alcohol, in my job, I found it difficult with that personality. On my own, trying to be an entrepreneur, trying to be an entrepreneur, I was hitting the wall, and whenever there was no else to blame, no circumstances, it was just me. It was like, oh. So you look into courses. I spent over £10,000 on courses for this, marketing, sales, and everything. So I've got all the tools, all the understanding. I'm ready. And then I sabotage myself, or I can't do it. I get stuck. A duvet day, plug, pull, drinking too much, can you relate to this? I gave up smoking a long time ago. Actually, I used to smoke a lot of joints, and I gave that up before my first son was born, and he's 24 now. So I gave that up a long time ago. But my real crutch was drinking. Just drink. Couldn't wait to drink, and then dulling my senses, feeling better about myself through drinking, but not realizing it, not assessing it, not. I can remember going and counting out my pennies. Thank God I can just about afford the cheapest bottle of white wine, and that would see me through a day, maybe, unless I was feeling bad about myself, and then that would be 3/4. I might as well finish it. And maybe that's not bad. Maybe you're worse than that, or you think that's not so bad. It just doesn't hurt. But if it's a prop, it's a dangerous, dangerous thing. And again, I know with hindsight that this is alluding to the trauma that's up inside. And that's the thing we need to change if we want to succeed in the path that we want to follow. Which isn't that what we talk about with health and wealth and well-being goals, relationships, success. And why we're failing so much is because it's what's up here. We need to look in the mirrors, and that's really tough because we don't want to, because we believe we can't do anything about it. We're stuck. It's the most difficult thing, frustrating thing. Oh, I'm not going to unlock Pandora's box. I'm not going to take the lid off this self-development stuff. There's no point. I know I'm crap. I know I'm not good enough. I know I'm not worthy. I'm not lovable. That's just the way it is. I can't do anything about this. So keep a lid on it. Don't go there. I can't do anything. Nobody's ever been able to help before. Nothing's worked. And that's how it occurs for us mostly, because of the way the brain works. It puts a belief in, locks it in, it's concrete. You have to work around it. You can't go through it. You can't break it. You can't chip away at it. There's no point. Difficult, isn't it? So that's what I'm building. I'm really excited to build it up into the program, and really reviewing and opening up about my story so that you can relate to it and see, at least understand it, even if you don't relate to it as it hasn't happened in the same way to you, because of course it won't. But some bits you might really resonate with, and you can understand that you've done that in a different way. And then, and of course there'll be all the support accessible. But I really want to get the story out there, the structure of what's worked for me, and giving me the understanding out there. And that's what I'm doing in the program. That's why I'm making it intentionally so accessible, cheap, which is cool. And if you'd like to be, because I'm doing that now, if you'd like to be at the first part of it, I'll give preferential treatment, and because I'll get the feedback from the people that are in there at the beginning, because I'm probably going to build it on my online course, but then I'm going to probably transfer it to an app. But I need to have a good, solid foundation of the way I've structured it and everything that works for people. So the people that join me now will be the ones that give me the most feedback, and I'll give you the most time and input on. So I think that's a nice two-way win-win situation. So if you're interested in that, message me, find out. And again, it's less than a tenner, so £10 British pounds. So if that's of interest, do please make the step to get in contact, because I know what it's like to live with this doubt, feeling negative core beliefs. It's exhausting, frustrating, and it's horrid. So anxiety, all this stuff. I want you to understand it and be able to manage it. All right, for good. All right, many thanks. Speak to you soon. Have an awesome rest of the day. Bye-bye.